Welcome to the Killing Podcast, Season 4, Episode 2, Unraveling.
Unraveling.
Hails, yeah.
Is.
Okay. We're your hosts, Martha Southgate and...
Rob Southgate. And
Oh
we
my
seem to be unraveling ourselves
We're
right
unraveling
now.
because we love this freaking show, and it's crazy. Okay.
Okay, let's jump right
Mulder and Sarah are
in.
majorly unraveling.
Yeah. So,
okay. Where do you want to start?
well, they're doing ballistics testings.
Yeah, they're watching. Okay, I've never seen this before, but they're watching the ballistics guys using a dummy.
You have seen it because you've seen Dexter, where they test blood splatter and all that kind of stuff with the dummies.
Well, I haven't seen them.
No, you haven't seen them do it, but
Killing.
you've seen this kind of thing before.
I'm just saying, I haven't seen it on the show. And of course, they're doing an execution style.
Yep.
And so Sarah's having post-traumatic stress.
I wrote, Sarah is uncomfortable and jumpy watching the dummies get shot in the head.
I wrote, Sarah is falling apart.
Yeah, and she needs to leave.
Sarah's unraveling.
Yes. Woo! You use the title.
She tells Holder that Skinner's kid came to her house, and he tries to help center her.
Right.
Well,
He tells her she needs to keep it together.
But she's losing it.
Yes.
There's no centering Sarah.
Yes. And he tells her, don't worry about it. She's just a stupid kid.
No. It's what's called a loose end.
Yeah,
and they're in big freaking trouble.
She's not just a stupid kid. She's looking for her dad, and she's freaked out.
She's a
she
determined
knows
kid.
that you had an affair with him.
And that you had last contact.
Yep.
Sarah, so you're in...
So, yeah, Holder, bad advice.
Yeah.
Sarah, you got a problem.
Yes, loose end. So, I mean, this kill room is going to have to be so giant.
The kill room.
Because they've got to kill now...
Well, they've got to kill Skinner's entire family.
They've got to kill Adrian.
Skinner, or Carl. They got to kill the cop that brought the pictures. They might have to kill us because we've been talking about this so much. They got a problem. You know what?
They have to
They got to kill Seattle.
They're going to have to kill a lot of people. And if they could possibly kill the people that make Sarah's sweaters, that would help me. Okay. Right.
She would never do that. She loves those sweaters.
Oh, she does.
Yeah.
Seattle must be very cold.
Right. Well, it's rainy.
Oh, but that makes wool smell. So that makes it even worse.
So you know that the whole town smells like Sarah's sweaters.
The colonel's addressing the cadets about the tragedy, and she's telling them Kyle's going to return to school.
Yeah.
And he's innocent, and so you need to give him respect, and there's going to be no bullying, there's going to be no teasing him.
Right, and she says zero tolerance about this.
Yeah, and so what happens immediately? Kyle's out in the hallway, and one of the cadets goes out and harasses
it's not just any cadet. It's that... It's the Smoky cadet.
You're going to keep calling him a cassette?
It's the Smoky one, the one that called
Holder
the real Slim Shady. Yes.
So he goes out and harasses Kyle about his sister.
About his baby sister, even worse than just his sister. Says, she would have been hot. We would have totally wanted to do her if she had shown up. And it's awful. I just wrote a-hole.
Yeah, bad dude. This is a bad guy.
Yep. Now, we don't know his name yet, so he's just Smokey for now. But
I call him one of the cadets.
He is awful. So
Sarah,
Holder and Lyndon are there, and they're listening to the 911 calls from that night.
Yeah.
And the 911 call had come in from the neighbor, and Sarah remarks that he sounds too calm.
He's just kind of like, yeah.
There's gunshots.
Heard some gunshots.
Yeah, he's not... I mean, think about it. If it was us, we'd be freaking out.
Yeah.
And once again, she knows that they're in this glass house. They got to go see this guy.
Yeah.
This person has got to be talked to immediately.
People in glass houses shouldn't shoot people.
Right. Now, that's a new saying coined by you. So Carl comes in with the Pied Piper evidence boxes. He's carrying the 2 boxes and asks Holder to take them to his DA girlfriend. And Holder's like, I can't.
Oh, funniest thing ever.
My hands are full.
Well, no, because what happens is Carl's got these 2 boxes, and they're huge, and they're heavy.
Right.
And on top of it, he's got a coffee and a donut.
Right.
And so he says, come on, Holder, you got to take these to your girlfriend. So Holder grabs the coffee and the donut.
Right.
And Carl's thinking, okay, he's going to just set those down and so he can take
he's
the
like,
boxes.
my hands are full.
And Holder says, oh, I wish I could, but my hands are full, and steals his coffee and donuts.
Right.
Awesome scene.
Great scene, but dumb Holder. This guy is sniffing around. Don't tick him off.
I think it was good because it showed Carl
camaraderie.
He's not scared.
Yeah.
He's not. He's acting normal.
Right.
If he was nice and went, oh yes, let me put this. Oh, let me get these for you, and Carl's gonna be all over that, like white on rice.
Right. Like white on rice.
So
Carl's going with the boxes.
They leave. Drops the boxes.
Of course he does, and he sees a pic of Callie's ring.
A picture.
It's that
of the
picture
hand.
Of but that blue ring.
Yeah, turquoise.
The one that was so important last season.
Yes.
Turquoise. I don't know. It's blue.
Yeah, it might not be turquoise because I can't remember.
It's a blue ring.
It's blue. And it's got all that metal scrolly stuff around it.
Yep.
And, okay, so Holder and Sarah go to see the neighbor. And he says he could hear the shots. And
he's a total shut-in.
And he says he thought they were coming from the beach house and the light was on.
Yeah.
But no one uses that house.
Right. Which is very odd. Now, there's a couple important things with this guy. This guy is a weirdo.
Oh, yeah, he's weird.
But he says he's an artist, and he's a shut-in, and he says at one point that pain and suffering are his art. What the hell does that mean?
Even mean?
It's...
Because you've got the shut-in kind of an artist. You're a podcaster. But you've got the shut-in, and so if
I wouldn't say pain, and I would say... geekology.
They would come over and find you in your comic book pants.
Right.
Your whatever they are, Superman or something.
How dare you?
Like
they're
comic
Marvel,
book pages.
They're Marvel pajama bottoms.
And you'd go, okay, I haven't left the house in a while, but I thought I heard these noises. Right. It sounded like at first I thought it was still the 4th of July, but then I realized it's August. And so then I
haven't
thought,
been outside.
Well, I should probably call 911 because that might have been shots fired. But this guy, so you were slightly on par with him, but
slightly. Although pain and suffering are not my art.
Not your thing.
No,
you try to avoid those.
No,
if at all possible.
Right.
Which is why you're a shut-in.
Right.
So they're in the house. Holder and Sarah go to the beach house, and they start digging around. And Sarah found a duffel bag.
Right. The maid takes them out to the beach house. Mm-hmm. And they start checking it out. They're looking around. They point out that whoever was there had a key because of the way it was locked. They're like, whoever did this had a key.
Okay.
So, and somebody had been out there, and they're not really finding any evidence of anything. And then Sarah finds these 2 duffel bags that are hidden behind this sheet, and they're full of girls' clothes. Yeah. So right away, I don't know what you were thinking. I was thinking that maybe Phoebe was going to run away, or the mom was running away, something like that.
Or I didn't know if maybe the dad was keeping a
girlfriend out
there
Who knows?
Or something. But
who knows?
I don't know. But the Colonel. So we're back at the school, and the Colonel
Kyle is with the Colonel.
Says to Kyle that she wants him to live in the infirmary because she's trying to protect him from the bullies.
She also wants him to talk to a counselor, and is trying to help.
And he claims he's not a victim,
right? And
he doesn't want to be treated like one.
And he says that'll make it so much worse for him. You know, this is a guy he's a loner. He was already picked on. We were getting the sense that he was really bullied. Especially after what we saw when the one saying that about his sister. I mean, he was living through hell with these guys. Now you're going to isolate him. You're going to separate him. What do you think that's going to do? I'm glad he has the wherewithal to realize this and to say to her, no, I need, even though that's going to be horrible, I need to be in there.
Yes. And she asks him if he remembers the night it happened, and he doesn't. And she tells him the caskets will be closed at the wake and the funeral because, she's like, because of how they were killed.
Right. Well, the reason that she says this is he says he wants to see the bodies. He wants to be able to say his goodbyes. He wants
closure. And
she's like, you really don't know how this happened, but they have to be closed caskets. So,
because there's nothing left of the heads.
Yep.
That would be really unpleasant.
Right.
If it was.
Yeah, no. Weird.
Partial head.
Yeah. No.
Ew.
Not happening.
That's scary. So
finally you've realized that's scary.
So she allows him to return to the barracks.
Right. So, okay, now they're going through the duffel bag. Holder and
they're at the beach house.
Lyndon. Yeah, and Holder finds bras in these, and they don't match.
Well, they don't match. The mom and the daughter were the same size.
Right.
And these are not that size.
Right. So whose bras are these? Now your theory might be holding a little bit more water, that it might be a girlfriend of the father, or I don't know. I don't know.
One size held a little bit more boob.
Right.
Maybe not water.
Right.
So Sarah found pictures, and they were nude portraits of a girl.
Yes.
And
right. Well, she finds them there in the back of a picture frame. So, like, it reminded me of Silence of the Lambs when she finds the picture and then she pulls the back off and there's all the nude Polaroids.
Something lotion on the...
Good impression.
I can't remember the whole line.
Put the lotion on the...
Something. How does it go?
It puts the lotion on itself and puts it in the basket.
Oh, that's awesome. That was such a disturbing movie.
I have to put this couch in my van. Can you help me put
Okay, now I'm going to have a bad dream. I'm going to have a bad dream. All right.
See, now that was a good impression. Mainly because I just went all nasal on you.
There you go.
It puts the lotion on itself.
So they go back to the neighbor.
Wait, I want to yell about Precious now. Remember his dog Precious?
Oh.
Precious!
Will you stop? So they go back to the neighbor, and he admits taking the pictures of Phoebe.
Yes! Well, they were shots from his house. And Sarah figures that out because she's looking up at his house, and then she looks back, and she sees in one of the pictures, there's a picture on the wall of that horse. And she's like, someone was standing here, and the pictures were shot from there. Yeah. So they go to his house, and he admits that they were pictures of Phoebe.
And someone's in the house.
Okay, what was this?
Why? They didn't resolve it.
No, you hear like a boom, boom, boom. They're like, who's in the house? And Sarah throws him down, and she's like, Holder handcuffs and he's like cuffing him and being all rough with him, and Sarah goes off. It's scary. She's looking through the house like, who's in here? Who's up here? And then she goes into this room.
And she finds a shrine of Phoebe.
Oh, that
was freaking
But who was
disturbing.
in the house? They never resolved it. So it was just a MacGuffin that made a noise, like something fell off a shelf, and that was enough that got them up there. But that doesn't really make sense. I don't know what was going on there. But this is the first time on the show that I was like, they just kind of dropped something there. Something. Yeah,
it was weird. Yeah. Well, literally and figuratively.
Yes.
But
and he's yelling, "She's mine! She's mine!"
Well, he means Phoebe because they're going up and they're going to destroy his shrine.
Right.
So he knows that, and he's saying she's mine because she's going to destroy. He knows that he's about to lose that room.
The shrine. And he said that she kept him. I'm glad she liked him and stuff like that. It's like, what a creep. So I wrote here, what was the noise? And I circled it because what?
We didn't find out.
The hell was that? So, okay.
Kyle is showering, and his stitches start bleeding, and the other cadets start making fun of him.
What is wrong with these guys?
And they're saying he's Carrie.
Yeah.
Which was pretty funny. Okay. I mean, that was actually a good line, but it was terrible.
Right. They're making Carrie jokes. Right.
Because it really is awful. I mean, this poor kid. And that's one hell of a head wound. It makes me want to faint.
Well, because it's a gunshot wound. But then another cadet steps up and helps him.
Yes.
Like, tells those guys off. And he's a little higher ranked than the other guys, so they have to call him sir, and he, like, yells at him. And then he turns around and he's helping Kyle.
Why didn't he ever do that any of the other times?
Well, that does come up. Okay. I'm just spoiler, that does come up.
Holder and Sarah meet with the colonel, and Kyle comes in.
Yes.
And they ask him about the beach house. He says he doesn't know who was living there.
Right.
And so they show him Phoebe's pictures, and they ask him about the neighbor.
Right.
And he didn't know there were pictures.
Well, and the colonel the whole time is putting pressure on. She's like trying to get them to wrap this up.
Right, but they're finding out why is she like this with him? Yeah, it's very weird. But he said that he told his parents that Phoebe was doing this, that she was standing in her window naked and doing things like this, and they didn't believe him.
Right.
And then she got upset and cut the piano wires to Kyle's piano.
Right.
And so now Lyndon knows what happened there. Sarah's
Right.
going, oh, that's why the piano wires were cut.
And this is the only time this has come up, so it's not like it was something they were hiding.
No, and it was that she got mad at him and killed the one thing he loved.
What a nut this Phoebe was.
Because he loved the piano.
What was going on in this house?
A lot of bad things.
Yeah.
A whole lot of bad things.
Like, naked for the neighbor in the window and cutting piano wires. And
I didn't even know there were wires.
What's up with
piano.
the parents? Like,
How did she know that?
You didn't know there are wires in a piano?
How the hell? What do I know about pianos? But if someone,
everybody knows there's pianos and wires in pianos. How do you not know that?
I don't know.
What?
You just push the little thing. And it makes the little thing go up.
Makes what little thing?
It makes the wood go up. The wood things.
The thing go up, and then what do you think makes the sound? The thing going up?
Well, I never really thought about it. But
the wires vibrate, and that makes the sound.
Never in a million years, if I was mad at someone...
The hammer hits the wire, and the little mute goes up. So it goes, bung, like that.
Okay. If I had someone that loved the piano and I was trying to ruin their lives, I would not know to cut the piano. I wouldn't think of how you...
Because you wouldn't know they were even there.
No, I don't play the piano. Am I supposed to know?
We had a baby grand piano and you didn't even know.
That's how I knew the thing went up.
But what was all that stuff in there?
Cord. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know.
Oh
I don't know from wires.
Whew.
So,
all right.
The bottom line is, she knew a lot about pianos.
What, is she some kind of idiot savant knows about pianos?
The bottom line is, why would she think to cut the wires?
Because she's a horrible person, and she knew that's the one thing he loved.
Okay. I know, but I would think of other. I'd have.
He
to
also
think of
tells
other ways
them
to ruin the piano. I wouldn't have thought. To cut
he
the
also
wires.
tells them that the parents never cared about him at all.
Right.
So we're starting to get a clearer picture. If he's telling the truth of this, like, nightmare family.
Yeah, not everybody loves them like they were claiming, like they were finding when they were initially starting the investigation. Right. No bad habits, no enemies, it's like, pretty sure that's not
horrible.
True. And Sarah knew that. She kept saying, there's going to be a secret in there somewhere.
Right, and the Colonel keeps insisting that Kyle didn't do it. So, does she know who did it?
Mm-hmm.
Is she protecting him? What is that about? Because her behavior is just strange.
Yes.
It's just, there's something strange there.
Carl's at the station.
Yes, and he's with Bethany.
Skinner's daughter, Bethany, comes in and tells him that she hasn't heard from her dad for 2 weeks.
Right.
Now, I didn't think it had been that long.
Is that what she said? It's been 2 weeks?
2 weeks seems really freaking long.
Yeah,
to
this
me.
doesn't seem like it's been 2 weeks. It seems like it's been a couple days.
It's been like 4 days,
yeah.
maybe.
Well, maybe it's been 2 weeks.
Seems odd.
Seems odd.
And I thought that he saw the ring on her hand. They focused on the ring on her hand.
Yeah, well, I wrote down Carl sees the ring on her hand.
I did too, but then I don't know
if it really comes back up, but it did look like he noticed that, especially after they made a clear shot of him seeing the ring in the folder.
Yeah.
So
I thought that he saw it, but he didn't.
But maybe he saw it and it's not registered yet, what he saw.
Because he is Carl.
He is Carl.
Holder and Sarah realize that the neighbor's innocent of the murders. And she wants to go through the pictures, but Holder doesn't.
Right.
And he said, because he wants to go home, now all of a sudden he's got something to go home to.
Right.
And so he doesn't want to just spend all of his life working on these cases and not eating, not sleeping.
Right.
And he says they'll still be dead tomorrow, Lyndon.
Right.
What's the matter? Are you afraid to be alone? Which is really cruel because he has a girlfriend.
Right, because now he's getting his life together.
Yeah. And so that was pretty crappy, I thought.
Well, I think we're seeing their relationship, suffering because of this.
And Sarah sees Carl with Skinner's daughter. And
this isn't good.
She is really freaking out now.
This is not good. This is not good.
This is very bad.
Yeah. So, Sarah is washing her face, and she is freaked out.
She's completely freaking out.
Yeah. And she starts wiping down the latch on the mirror, and as she's doing that, I start thinking, oh my God, he touched that. Yeah. Or he could have. She's got to wipe down the toilet. She's got to, like, we saw her bleach the bathroom before, but now she's got to, like, go every minuscule of that house has to be scrubbed down, cleaned.
You know what?
And that's going to look awfully suspicious if they go in there looking for prints.
There is no way. I am convinced that there is no way to truly clean.
Oh, yeah. There's something there.
Because they got those lights. They got all kinds of things that
hair,
they can find.
Follicles. Yeah.
I mean, truly.
But she is a homicide detective. So if anyone knows what they're looking for, it's her. But once again, it's like when you have a business and you go, I can't see what the problem is. Someone else has to come in here and be able to see it. It's the same thing here. She's a cop. She should be able to see.
She's too close.
Exactly what's happening, but she can't.
No, because she can't think objectively.
Which is why she's losing the casings and why she's forgetting about Adrian or whatever it is.
Right.
Too close. Exactly.
So,
she breaks the mirror, by the way.
Yeah, she punches it.
And then she's staring at it, and it's supposed to...
it.
Yeah, it's supposed to be representing how she's cracking up. And it is.
But seriously, how are you explaining that now?
Yep. Now you've got a broken mirror.
I mean, really?
Well, she could get a new mirror before anyone sees it. But if they come tonight...
In her spare time?
She's got time. It's been 2 weeks.
It has not.
She's been watching movies.
They say it's been 2 weeks, but
she's been hanging out.
It's been like 4 days. So... Holder and his girlfriend, this was a cute little scene. They're grocery shopping.
Yes.
And Holder is
he's giving her all sorts of advice.
Oh, he's micromanaging her pregnancy.
Right.
And then, okay, gross, she convinces him to get Captain Crunch. Ew.
Gross.
And he does. He buys like 5 boxes of it. But
he says crunch berries make me a better crime fighter.
Right. And which
Mr. Health Food.
I do
by
love
Captain
him, but
Crunch.
not Captain Crunch.
Gross.
He sees the baby shoes, in that baby aisle.
Yep.
Okay, this was so hysterical. Total plot device. He's got the frozen food section or the dairy, like whatever.
No, cereal section.
Well, yeah, cereal. And then you turn around and it's also the baby section.
Right.
That doesn't happen.
Yeah, that was bizarre.
There'd be crackers. There'd be other cereal. There'd be granola bars.
Right, either that or
but not the baby section.
Worst product placement ever.
Yeah, I just thought that was really hysterical. I was like, that was plot device.
Yeah.
So he turns around and there are baby shoes and all the baby stuff.
Right,
and he's starting to freak out now.
You can tell that it's all dawning on him.
That's starting to feel real now.
Yeah, we're going to be buying these shoes, and there's going to be a little person in these shoes, and they're not going away.
Oh, this scene with Kyle really, really upset me.
Okay.
He's in bed, and someone is screwing with him, and they're talking through the vent.
Yeah, he's not sleeping, and they're going,
I have chills
help
at
me,
the
Kyle.
thought of it. Pretending to be Nadine.
Yes.
And they're in the bathroom.
Now, and as this is going on, I'm like, they can't really be this awful. This has to be like a bad dream or something, but they were. It was 3 of the boys, and they were messing with him.
Yeah, these same cadets, the same
one, Smokey, and then
and then two others of his lackeys, and the other cadet defends him again, because it starts to get a little bit physical, and the other cadet comes in and starts yelling at the guys, and then demands that Kyle beat them up.
Yes, yeah, it makes Kyle hit the guy in the face,
and Kyle doesn't want to beat anybody up.
But when he does, his rage goes nuts.
But he was given an order.
Yeah, he was given an order. And the guy says that to him. That's a direct order. Are you telling me you're going to refuse to do a direct order? And he has to do it. But he also, like, his rage just comes out and he starts wailing on this kid's face. And it's that Smokey
And then he says,
kid.
That's enough. Like, then the cadet determined when it was.
Right.
But that was a really awful scene.
So then we see Sarah getting issued a new gun. And the guy says, hey, be more careful. You got to hang on to this one. Yeah,
after her last one was stolen.
Yeah, stolen. You know what? They don't take that very lightly. Because we watched The Shield. Remember how much controversy there was when the gun had disappeared? Yeah. So they're not going to take that lightly, but she does finally get her new gun. Mm-hmm. Once again, what happens when that other gun pops back up?
Right.
It's going to be weird.
None of this is good.
No.
So Holder comes in. And Katrina Olsen is the mystery guest.
Right. He's got an ID on the girl at the beach house.
And she has Katrina priors.
Olsen. Yep.
she also assaulted Philip Stansbury, and he let her off.
Right, and then she gets to live at the beach house.
Yeah,
What's
he
up with
dropped
that?
the charges and then lets her live there. For what is very weird,
fishy and weird.
There's a lot going on.
Okay, so I figured out at this point that the kid that keeps kind of coming to Kyle's rescue is named AJ. So we're back at the school, and AJ and Kyle are in the bathroom, and the colonel shows up, and that smoky kid looks pretty beat up.
First the cadet tells him what to say about his eye and how to treat it.
Right.
So he gives him the alibi.
Right.
And then the colonel comes in.
Right. And she kind of walks around and is, inspecting, and then she starts discussing zero tolerance. Do you not understand what that is? And she asks the cadet what happened to his face, and he says he slipped in the shower. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Once again, that's like Orange is the New Black, where they don't quite tell the authorities what's really going on. Kyle says the bruises on his hand are from his rifle. That's what AJ told him to say. She is not buying any of it. She punishes the whole battalion.
I was going to say, I don't recall that.
She didn't punch. She punishes the whole battalion.
And they all have to do drills in the rain.
Yeah, they're out there they're running, they've got their guns above their heads, and they have to do push-ups, and the drill sergeants are just...
They have to smell Sarah's sweater.
Yeah, they come back and they're like, ew, everything smells like wet wool.
Yeah. Carl meets with Logic, a Seattle PD informant.
Yeah.
And he grills him for info on Sarah.
Yeah.
This is bad.
He takes this guy's gun away from him, and he harasses him a little bit, and then he's like, hey, you still need to do some stuff for us. And, this guy, his name's Logic? I didn't get that.
Yeah, his name's Logic.
So Logic, begrudgingly has to agree. He doesn't have a choice here.
But this is really bad. Carl is majorly on their tails.
He also was Holder's CI, and he says, I haven't talked to him in months. And then he asks, hey, do they still pay for snitches? And Carl's like, yeah, well, we'll see about that. Depends on what you get us. So he's setting Holder up.
Yes,
with his own CI.
Yep. So the cadet has Kyle sit with him at lunch.
Yeah.
And he tells him he's proud of him and everything. So it's really...
and he thinks he's going to get, yelled at or that the guy's going to, refuse him because he got the whole battalion in trouble. And the guy's like, no, you didn't rat us out. You proved yourself. Mm-hmm. You actually did right.
But it reminds me of V and Suzanne on the second season of Orange is the New Black.
Yeah, more Orange is the New Black, yes.
Because I feel like this guy is manipulating Kyle and sort of molding him.
I haven't figured out what AJ's
He's got an angle. There's something up there.
Right.
There's something up there.
Something's up with AJ.
And Sarah and Holder come in to this cafeteria.
Yep.
And, Holder calls Kyle's buddy Captain America.
Right.
I thought that was funny.
Well, the guy just keeps going, you're not supposed to be in here, and, and Holder, he's having none of it. And Sarah just keeps asking questions, and she asks if he knows the girl at the beach house.
Yeah, and she shows him the picture of Katrina.
Yeah.
And the colonel comes in and she kicks them out.
Right. Well, he completely denies knowing who she is.
Of course.
But the colonel kicks them out. And Holder tells Sarah to stop worrying about Bethany as they're getting kicked out. He's like, you got to stop worrying about this because it's affecting you.
But Holder and Sarah think he's lying. I mean, they know that.
Oh, they think Kyle's lying. But at the same time, this thing about Bethany is threading through here because the way Sarah was reacting, she was overreacting.
Right.
And he's like, you can't do that.
Right. And he talks about lions on a pedestal.
Yeah, I don't know what this was.
And the alpha dog.
Right.
Yeah, and so one of, a Mulder, a Holderism.
A Holderism, yeah. Sorry. Yeah. So Carl, they run into Carl. Sarah runs into Carl, and he asks her if she's talked to Skinner. So, yeah, Carl's in full investigation mode now.
Yeah, he checked his phone records. And guess what?
Sarah's aware of this now.
But he checked Skinner's phone records.
Yeah.
And she was the last call.
Yeah.
And she had said that her phone was dead when Carl first asked her that night because she said that's why she couldn't do whatever she needed to go. My phone was dead.
Right.
And so he's already figured out that she was lying that night.
Her excuse, though, is this is where she steps up. Because she just says, we were having an affair.
Yeah, but...
We were trying to cover it up. That's why things are weird.
But she said that because he said your alibi didn't pan out.
Right. But as he's getting closer, she uses that chip, which is a legitimate one to use. And she tells him to get out of her face. Stay away. Stay out of my face because you're asking about this and it's none of your business. That's what's going on. So this is the first time where I think she actually kind of handled this in a way that was like, yeah, that's not a bad angle to get Carl off the scent.
It's not going.
No, it doesn't get Carl off the scent, but I think it's not a bad way. So Katrina shows up at Kyle's room.
She's at the school.
Yeah, it's like dark and everything, and she shows up. Now, how is she getting into this facility? How does she just walk in and end up in his room? I would think thered be a lot more going on there. Wouldn't you?
I don't know.
I would think it would be pretty secure. I mean, I'm sure they have cadets guarding things, but maybe not.
You got to scratch everything over there and stick your big finger through your hole.
No, I was doing this.
No, you stuck the finger...
Through there?
One finger through the hole. Okay. So she asks if Kyle remembers what happened that night.
Right.
And then she says they got what they deserved.
Yeah,
And the other cadet heard.
Yeah. Smokey. So what's up with that?
Well, these people were heinous, apparently.
They were heinous, but
what does that mean?
Involved? Exactly. Was he involved? I mean, this all of a sudden seems pretty suspicious to me.
Like maybe they could have done it themselves together.
Yeah. And he says...
Oh, this is when it starts moving
that he doesn't
fast.
remember, and they kiss.
Yeah.
Carl, then, it starts moving fast. We see him looking at Callie's ring.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, he looks at Callie, then he looks at the ring.
And that's when the light bulb goes up. Then he looks at Skinner. No, it's the same one that Skinner's daughter was wearing.
Right, but he also looks at a picture of Skinner or something with Skinner, and it's like he's piecing this together.
And so he's
not dopey cop.
He was.
He's just
been apathetic for a while. So it's the same one. But
he's a detective. He does this.
Right. It's the same one that Skinner's daughter was wearing, and he finally puts that together. The Colonel's eating dinner alone.
Yes.
Holder's asleep holding a baby shoe.
Yes.
Kyle and Katrina are spotted by the cadet he beat up.
Yes.
And Sarah is driving.
And that bully is just sitting there watching as she leaves. When she's going out the door, he takes her to the door, and he's just watching.
Yes.
So it's like, once again, that's not going to go well.
It's not going to go well. And Sarah is driving by Skinner's house, and she's watching Bethany. She's watching his daughter. She's watching
her up in her room. What the hell is that about?
What is she doing over there?
Yeah.
How is that going to end well if she's out stalking these people?
Yeah. What are you doing over there?
That's not good.
No.
Oh my gosh, I'm freaking out. I love this show. I love this show.
This was one of those transition ones, though, where it's like the first one had so much shocking stuff. Now they've kind of pulled back and said, okay, let's get some suspects going. Let's get things so you're wondering. Because I can't tell what direction is up yet. I have a feeling we won't until the 6th episode.
No, and we're sitting here going, okay, so let's look at who the suspects could be. Kyle.
Yeah.
Katrina.
Yeah.
The Colonel.
Yeah. Smokey.
Could be one of the cadets.
AJ.
Mm-hmm.
It's not Holder.
The neighbor, it wasn't, right?
No, but he is a suspect still.
She said, no, they ruled him out.
Oh, they did?
Because he was, there was something he had that
It could also be somebody we haven't met yet.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't know.
Yeah.
Who's involved in what and why.
But so far, we have a lot of suspects.
Right. And all of them seem to be around Kyle.
Mm-hmm.
So, wow. I'll tell you who it's not. Skinner. Pretty obvious.
And for once, it's not Sarah.
Right. Well, that's it. Okay, next episode is going to be awesome. I can't wait. You can find past episodes of this at our website, which is www.southgatemediagroup.com. You can also find the past episodes on iTunes, on Stitcher, on TuneIn, on Podomatic and Podbean, and really any other directory out there. We should be on there the entire series. Please check it out. Share it on Facebook. That's something you can do. You can also, I found a really cool thing. You can share episodes right from iTunes. If you click, there's a little thing on the right, and you click on it, it says share file. It'll share it right to Facebook or Twitter, or you can email it right from there. It's really cool. So if you have somebody you want to share it with, please do. Make them aware of the show. Force it on them. Get them listening. Rate us, review us. It does help. It helps other people find the show, and it helps us a lot. Then we know what's going on and what people think about it. You can find us on all the different social media platforms. We're on Twitter, Tumblr, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest. Basically, we're on most of the social media platforms that are out there. I even got somebody writing to me on our Google Plus page, which I don't even update. So I think I'm going to have to start updating that too. Oh, and we have a YouTube channel too. Look up The Killing Podcast on any of those, or look up Southgate Media Group, either as one word or as three, and we should pop up. Okay, that's it. We are left with the same question as we were before. For The Killing Podcast, I'm Rob Southgate.
I'm Martha Southgate.
And that question we're left with, who took the casings?
And who killed Standard?
If you would like to donate to help pay for this and other Southgate Media Group podcasts, simply go to our website, southgatemediagroup.com, and click on the donate button. It can be as little as $1 or, well, as much as you want. Help keep this fun going by supporting this and our other shows. Thanks again for listening, everyone. You're the best fans in the world.